Sacred companions, spiritual friendship in the spirit of St. Francis de Sales. In an age where relationships are often shallow and short lived, St. Francis de Sales offers us a profound gift, spiritual friendship, a sacred bond that draws two souls closer to God. This is not just friendship for comfort or companionship. It is a partnership in holiness, a divine journey where hearts encourage one another to love Jesus. God, who is love, created us to love and to love one another in Him. The first point for our reflection today is, what is spiritual friendship? At its heart, spiritual friendship is mutual love based on shared growth in virtue and love for God. It's not rooted in worldly interest, but in grace. St. Francis de Sales describes it as mutual and reciprocal love based on communication. Not just any communication, but one where hearts share their desire to grow in holiness together. It's a friendship that speaks the language of the soul, encouraging holiness, correcting in love, supporting in trials, rejoicing in spiritual victories. The second point, key qualities of Salesian friendship. Let's explore the pillars of authentic spiritual companionship. Genuine communication, honest sharing of thoughts, prayers, and struggles creates a sacred space for trust and vulnerability. Secondly, shared commitment to virtue. Have friendship with those capable of communicating virtuous things. Choose friends who uplift, who call you to be better, holier, and humbler. Thirdly, discernment. Not every bond is spiritual. Choose wisely. Avoid friendships that distract, weaken, or derail your soul from God's will. Fourthly, mutual growth and support. Spiritual friends grow together. They push each other forward when weary and pull each other up when fallen. Fifthly, loving correction. Gently, humbly correcting one another is not judgment, it's love in action. Sixth, unconditional love with freedom. Love that reflects God's own, free, generous, respectful, never possessive, never manipulative. The third point for our reflection today is, why do we need spiritual friends? In Salesian thought, spiritual friendship is not optional, it is essential, especially for those walking the challenging paths of apostolic life. First of all, a path to holiness. Like the love of the Trinity, true spiritual friendship draws us closer to God. It helps us become saints, not in isolation, but in communion. Secondly, support in the journey. When spiritual dryness hits, when ministry becomes heavy, it's these friends who stand beside us, reminding us of hope, prayer, and purpose. Thirdly, mutual joy and encouragement. In their presence, we feel the joy of the gospel again. They renew our passion for the Lord and reveal our hidden strengths. The fourth point, how to cultivate spiritual friendships. Here are practical steps inspired by St. Francis de Sales. First of all, seek the right people, those who share your thirst for God. Secondly, open your heart. Be willing to share joys, wounds, and prayer. Thirdly, pray together. Join in adoration, rosary, or spiritual reading. Fourthly, listen actively. Be fully present. Show you care. Fifthly, correct lovingly. Don't shy away from gentle honesty. Sixth, forgive freely. All friendship face conflict. Grace is key. Seventh, show up consistently. Spiritual friendship requires presence. Eighth, entrust it to God. Pray for your friends and your bond daily. The more virtue we share, the more perfect the friendship will become. The fifth point for our reflection, pitfalls to avoid. St. Francis de Sales warns us that not all friendships are holy. Some mislead and burden the soul. First of all, false friendship. Rooted in ego, gossip, or pleasure, these ties deceive the soul. Secondly, copying imperfections. Do not imitate your friends' weaknesses. Let virtue be your inspiration, not their flaws. Thirdly, over-attachment. Excessive emotional dependence can cloud your focus on God. Remember, spiritual friendship is a gift, not a possession. Fourthly, shared sin or jealousy. If sin unites you, it is not friendship, it is bondage. So be vigilant. The sixth point for our reflection today is the beautiful model St. Francis de Sales and St. Jane de Chantal. The most shining example of Salesian friendship is the holy bond between St. Francis de Sales and St. Jane de Chantal. They prayed, wrote letters, corrected one another, and together founded the Visitation Order. Their friendship was filled with gentle affection, mutual admiration, shared zeal for souls, constant communication rooted in God. It's this friendship that birthed a whole spiritual movement. Seventh point, why it matters today. In our digital age, many feel lonely despite being constantly connected. Spiritual friendship is the antidote to this modern ailment. It's a form of evangelization, gentle, respectful, deeply human. A friend who helps you pray, keeps you grounded, and reminds you of Christ is a precious grace. To conclude, sacred companions in Christ. Spiritual friendship isn't sentimental, it is sacred. It's about journeying together towards heaven. Let us intentionally seek, build, and nurture friendships rooted in Christ. Let us be companions of the heart, as St. Francis de Sales was to St. Jane de Chantal. Live Jesus not just in solitude, but in communion. Let us form communities of affection and holiness where we lift each other's burdens, rejoice in each other's gifts, correct with love, forgive with mercy, and walk toward God together. Final takeaways from this session are: first, spiritual friendship is rooted in virtue and God's love. Secondly, it requires communication, discernment, and mutual support. Thirdly, it helps overcome loneliness, dryness, and discouragement. Fourthly, avoid toxic ties, cherish holy ones. Fifthly, let your friendships be a mirror of divine communication. Live Jesus.